Okay, hey guys, welcome to Jack's Treasures. This is our weekly series of questions and answers that people have asked us, or that we have asked other people, or just shit we made up.
We have decided to change up our Wednesdays.
Yep.
Every Wednesday is going to be What Not Wednesday.
Which is going to be keys to live selling. Okay, these are going to be our keys to live selling, and we're focusing on Whatnot because, well, that's where we are. Mostly on Whatnot and stuff. We are going to dibble and dabble.
Right.
Dibble and dabble on a couple of the other sites just so that we can say that we're doing them. And that way we're not talking, just out of not knowledge, out of not knowing exactly what it may be. But today's topic on keys for live selling on Whatnot Wednesday is to pick a platform.
We picked Whatnot.
I pick it. Yes. There are a lot of platforms that you could choose from. We'll go over them. One of them, of course, is Whatnot. Is a live reselling platform. And probably, in my opinion, I think it's the largest reselling platform right now that is out there. That's live reselling, of course. This is what we're talking about. Then you have a site called District and Poshmark Live, Jamble, all the social platforms. I bet you guys didn't even know that, but you can go live selling on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. What are some of the other ones?
I don't know.
I don't know if you can. I have no idea. And then the last one is eBay. And why is eBay the last one, baby?
Because they won't let us sell with them.
It's not that they won't let us. It's that you have to have a big following on other social platforms. They are not opening up to everybody. We have applied. We applied. And we applied, oh my God, 6-7 months ago. To resell on eBay.
And we have very, very good eBay accounts with good feedback.
Yeah.
Thousands of sales, all that nonsense.
Yeah, I mean, we've been on eBay for a long time. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, when we applied, I had over 8,000 items on eBay. So they can't say that we didn't have inventory because we had inventory. But so eBay is just like the hardest one to break into. You really just have to have a YouTube following. I think that's what they're really concentrating on right now to build up their platform, is to build up via people that already have a huge following on YouTube. And that obviously is not us. But so let's go over. We went over the ones. We're going to save Whatnot for last. We'll go over the District first. The District is it's more or less of a marketplace of live selling platforms,
right?
And static selling. They do have static selling platforms on there too.
We actually utilize District for static selling quite often.
Yeah.
I sell on one of the platforms there for static.
Yeah.
We have done live selling there.
We have on that static selling platform too. But they have all of these different ones. And what it is it's like a mall, if you will, to me, where you can go in and you have these different stores down in that mall. And that's what the District is. The District is the umbrella. And then within the District, you have sites like DibDits, okay? Knickknacks.
To me, the biggest pro is also the biggest con of this, the District. And that's that each site is so specialized that they have kind of smaller audiences than, say, Poshmark or Whatnot or whatever. So if you get in and you just dominate that site, I mean, you have that chance to do that. But at the same time, the number of people that are there watching is lower than some of the bigger platforms. So,
but in that case, you have a great opportunity to get some deals.
Right. So
I mean, as a reseller, you could go on District and find some tremendous deals.
But even like the largest districts like Knickknacks and DibDit and the Craigslist market and all that, they are tiny compared to Poshmark, compared to Jamble, compared to Whatnot.
I don't know about Jambo, but definitely to Poshmark and Whatnot.
They're very tiny compared to those. But that can be good, especially if that is your first experience with live selling. You can get your name out there a lot faster, but it's just to a smaller audience.
One of the big things about the District, and it's a helpful thing about the District, is the District is owned by resellers. Not the District itself, but these platforms. All these platforms are owned by resellers. And some of these resellers are huge. Kevin, the Commonwealth Picker, Corey, Grams and Pops Vintage, Carrie, American Arbitrage, the Nurse Flipper. Who's the one that does?
I don't think she does Whatnot.
No. What's the one that does
the Crazy Lamp Lady?
Crazy Lamp Lady, J Ride. All of these are big YouTubers, and when you get in and over there, you're going to get their support behind you, so that when you go live, they're going to help and push your shows, and they're going to come in and co-host the shows. And that brings a huge audience into your show. So you actually start out having these bigger audiences coming in and helping you out with your show.
And I will say that our experience in doing that has been phenomenal with the people wanting to help us. And that is not a reason we haven't done more. It's the reason we haven't done more is just because we're so established on Whatnot.
And also with Whatnot, we know how the platform works with shipping, with running shows and everything like that. And with District, it's a tad bit, there are differences in how you run the shows run. And that's one of the things that we're trying to adjust through with that. Poshmark Live is another one that is growing by leaps and bounds. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know Poshmark Live was a thing. And right now, I would say that it's probably the number one or not number one, number two or number three live reselling platform right now. Mostly clothing, I would say. But I don't know because I don't sell on Poshmark Live. But again,
they have a big Disney crowd over there as well.
Yeah, they have a huge, like I said, clothing lines, accessories. Clothing, accessories, things of that nature. You can go over there. You can check them out. It would be a great site, again, to get started on.
And one benefit I would say to that is that a lot of people may have already been selling on Poshmark, so they've built that account. They have that good feedback. They have all those followers and everything, so it might be a little bit easier to start than to go into Whatnot where you have no base.
Whatnot will push your first show. And then after that, it kind of settles down a little bit, and then you have to build your base up. Okay, and we'll talk about how to do that, especially in upcoming shows. So Poshmark Live is another platform, especially if you have clothing. Be a great one to start off with. Jamble is another one that is, again, it's the same as from what my experience with it is. It's very similar to Poshmark Live and to Whatnot, but again, generalized with clothing.
What I've seen is they seem to have a lot more like games and feature-y type things like that, which are fun for some people. It's not our bag.
Yeah.
But a lot of people do like those. So if you enjoy doing the mystery, the gifting, things like that,
they have something called gems where you can change gems into other things. And so they have a little bit of stuff on there too. But that's another one where you'll want to get on and just plug away at it. But again, I think it's mostly focused on clothing and accessories. I'm not 100% sure. I can't speak for the whole thing because I don't sell on that platform.
Right.
All right. The other platforms, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook, they have one huge benefit over all of the ones that we just mentioned, and that is the fees. Okay? Generally speaking, the fees are what, Tracy?
Mostly zero. It really depends on how you go about it with TikTok. There's different ways you could utilize TikTok. If you're selling through TikTok shops, there may be fees, but there's also ways you can make money selling stuff on TikTok, selling other people's products. So, I have not investigated it super well, which is funny because we actually have a decent following on TikTok, and I'm pretty sure I qualify to do TikTok shop, but I have not investigated it yet. The other three, now you just go live and you just start selling.
Now the problem with that is that collecting the money.
Yep.
You
have to invoice yourself. You have to get everyone's address yourself. You have to handle all of that background work yourself.
Right. And including all of the shipping.
They are not collecting taxes within the state, which technically you should be doing that. And the sites like Poshmark and Whatnot and eBay and District, they're collecting those state sales taxes. When you're selling on Instagram, they're not. So that's on you to figure out
Instagram, YouTube,
how you're supposed to do that.
Facebook. All of those. We do know of Steve and Donna that sell on Facebook. Okay, and they have a big following on Facebook.
I think Angie Resales that we met in Nashville, she sells on YouTube.
And Donna, she sold on YouTube for a long time. One of the original OGs. And we've already talked about eBay. Okay, obviously eBay would be the best one for many people because they've already established themselves on eBay as a seller, and that would be a good one. It just, you got to have the other following.
Yep.
Okay.
And they're not promoting it really hard either.
Yeah, it's hard to find.
So while I would love them to say, hey, we'd love to have you on, at the same time, I don't know that I'm not ready to jump wholeheartedly in it. I love Whatnot and how they have treated us. So.
And Whatnot would be the next one. Okay. Whatnot is all encompassing. It is just like eBay, but live selling. Okay, you have so many categories. There are thousands, well, not thousands, there's hundreds of categories that you could sell under. Some of them are large. Tracy and I were actually doing some research when we were driving back from Tennessee on some of them that are large, some of them that are small, and you know how many people are live on there. They got started doing cards. I will let you know that. Trading
Funko
cards,
Pops was actually the first thing.
And comic books, okay, which, believe it or not, you could sell comic books on Whatnot for a better price than you can get on the Bay, okay?
If you have that following.
If you have that following. Right now, I've done 3 comic book shows, and I've sold a total of 3 comic books in the comic book show.
Taco
in that in that category. But if I ran those 3 the same, I've run comic books on other categories, and
we're doing storage
we do
units,
much better.
estate sales, things like that, and they've done great.
Yeah. So if you're an all-around seller, if you're an everything seller like we are, okay, I would take out Poshmark right off the bat. I would take out Jamble right off the bat because they're geared towards certain things. District, you can find different platforms on the District. The problem with that is what I've heard is everybody that does the everything selling on District, there's like 2 of them that you're really going to go in there with, and that's there's 3: Knick-Knack, J-Ride, and Dibbed It. Okay, those are the 3 big ones right there.
Knick-Knacks is mostly for decor.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Dibbed It is for pop culture-y type stuff. I don't know about J-Rides. I've never followed it. I would say the Craigslist Hunter site, that is more general.
I'm learning stuff as we go right there. So you have District and Whatnot really are the 2 that, if you're an everything seller,
right.
If you're an everything seller,
but at
or
the
any
same
of the social
time,
platforms.
you could also do multiple platforms. You could be like, well, I'm going to sell my glassware over on Knick-Knacks. Then I'm going to go sell my Funko Pops over on Dibbed It, you know?
Yeah, and you can do that. Whatnot. Now, why did we choose Whatnot? Well, we chose Whatnot for a couple of reasons. One is we've been on Whatnot for almost 3 years.
Right at 3, yeah.
We're right at 3 years right now. And Whatnot was about 2 years when we got onto it. So we got onto it when it was very, very, well, not very small, but it was still growing.
Yeah.
And so we've grown with Whatnot.
A lot of the features that are there now were not there when we started. Rating wasn't even there when we first started. I'm trying to think of some other features that weren't there.
That we're going to talk about, too.
Giveaways, there was only one type of giveaway, and you couldn't run anything at the same time the giveaways were going.
Yeah.
You had to run the giveaway and then start running items. I mean, there was a lot of different stuff.
With Whatnot, the thing about with Whatnot is that Whatnot, we were able to get ourselves established so that we have a following of buyers on Whatnot. So when we do a Whatnot show, we're getting very comparable to the numbers that you would get on eBay, but we're selling that stuff faster, okay? Instead of having to store it and keep it on the shelf and wait for the person to find it on eBay, we're able to fly it out on Whatnot. We also do sell on District.
There are things that we sell on Whatnot that I would never have done on eBay. Look behind us. Yeah. I've got 65 plush toys back here. I would have never bought those to sell on eBay. Because they would sit way too long for items that are selling in the $3 to $8 range. Yeah. But on Whatnot, we're going to run this sale this afternoon. A lot of this stuff is going to go straight out and packed up, gone out of our way in one day.
That's right. And then we get paid, and we're going to talk a lot about why some of the pros and the cons of live reselling on Wednesday, because we're going to be titling this little segment of our shows What Not Wednesday. Okay. We might even start, well, I don't know if we're going to make it a podcast or anything like that, but we're just going to just keep doing our little videos. So, again, these are just our opinions. Okay. So leave your comments down there below. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And help us out with Stop Soldier Suicide. Tracy will put a link down there below because she does all of these. And as always,
pet a cat who did not even want to come in here during the show.
This is the first time. This is the first, guys. We actually
Nobody
enjoyed
scratched
it.
on the door.
Right there. All right, guys. So peace out from Jack's Treasures. Look for every Wednesday. We are going to be What Not Wednesday. Every Monday, we are doing storage unit tips. And then every Friday, we're just doing whatever the hell that we haven't done in any of the other days. Okay? Drop some cheese in the comments down below.
No. We are done with cheese. No cheese.
No cheese. Peace out from Jack's Treasures, guys.
Bye.
Bye.